So I've gotten a lot of the layout. It's not too proportioned. It's not properly portioned or whatever you want to say. This is a smaller version of the house that I lived in. What's up, people? I'm Xogue, back on Scrap Mechanic. It's been a little while since we've been here, but I've been working a little bit on a thing. It didn't work out. But basically, there's a system of compounding bearings that allows you to make tires spin really fast using these guys, but it's affected by weight way too much. And I think there's a couple bugs in the programming revolving around that concept. I don't know if they're going to block it one day or if they're going to fix the system one day and allow it to work better. But right now, it's just too wonky and too weird. It's not feasible at the moment. But it is feasible for maybe drills. It is a possible thing to do for that. We'll probably redesign our vehicles here, and I'll update my Steam files here to reflect those as soon as we start getting it going on that. But what I wanted to do today is actually move to a new location. We're going to be building a house today. And I don't know how far along the process we're going to get, but I want to get pretty far. But the first deal that I want to do is actually move everything we have so far over to the area. And we're going to go over there by the building we just conquered, because I did use the command that allows me to take things from it. And that is just a resource that is so huge and so valuable that I don't think we can pass it up. We're going to use a lot of the stuff in there, I have a feeling, in order to make our house feel more homely and feel more like a house. So I just need to get working on moving this. This vehicle right here is crap now. I'm not even going to try to fix it or update it. I'm just going to use it to get over there, and then we can work on redesigning our vehicles. But for now, I think it's okay. I think it's a pretty good vehicle. I think it'll work. Barely, but I think it'll work. And we just got to work on that. Hopefully it'll make it. Hopefully it doesn't use too much gas, though I have a feeling it will. But I need to start moving stuff. I do believe that is it. I left our little farm stuff over here, the seeds and the soil, because our farming area is still going to be over there since it's basically invulnerable from the bad robots. We'll make one over in our new area as well, but for the moment, we don't really want to be attacked. I haven't come up with a good defensive system for farms, so we're still going to use that area when we need blueberries or whatever. But as you can see, I think I got everything. If I missed something, let me know, but I think I got it all. And now we just need to head on over to Big Ol' House Place, or Big Ol' Future House Place. I'm not sure how big it's actually going to be, if I'm being honest. I don't really know. I kind of want to make it to scale-ish, meaning, because this is actually going to be closely resembling a house I used to live in. And I think it'd be kind of cool, very interesting to walk through a house like that. Now, the materials will be different. There will be some layout changes, but some of the rooms and everything will be the same, basically. And it's going to be really weird, I think, actually walking through a house that resembles one I used to live in. But it is what it is. And I think it'll be kind of cool. But anyway, so that, I think, is everything. I got a lot of blocks here. I have a lot of stuff I need to sort out into new areas. And I need to go ahead and get rid of these trees, I believe. Go ahead and salvage those guys. I'll put them in the resource bins and get our little friend over there to kind of sort them out. But it'll be okay. I think this is going to work out. I need to figure out exactly what orientation I want to do the house. And then we need to work on getting some materials that we're going to use for this. Some of them I have. Some of them I may go into our little building over here to get, since obviously it's a very good resource for materials since I have unlocked it. And it's going to be, I don't know. I don't actually know what materials I want to use. I have a general idea, but we also have the painting tool, which is really nice. And we should have enough of the paint or whatever it's called in order to do stuff. I'm not sure where I put all that, but I don't know. It's in here somewhere. So yeah, let me go ahead and organize things. Let me get some kind of a layout or some kind of a design going, and then we can see what we got here in just a bit. There is quite a bit of good stuff inside this little building here. I'm super happy that we're over here. I don't know if I found any of the wood. I did go to one of those little rundown hut places along the road that's like a collection of shops or something. And that's a good place to get scrap wood, which you can convert obviously into the good stuff. But and that's pretty much how I got what I did here. it's just not enough. We need a lot more wood. We're going to either have to chop down trees or hope that there's a large portion of wood inside this building. I don't think there is though, but we're going to take a look before we go through and actually design a tree chopper building thing. But this is the very beginnings of the layout of the house that I want to build. Now, this over here is actually an extension, including the stairs and this little platform over here. This is where we're going to end up collecting our water. We're going to put our crafting stuff over here and set it up in a way where we have lots and lots of storage. Our crafting guy is set up. Our resource refiner guy is going to be set up over here, along with a place to put these guys down on all sides of them and all this other good stuff. It's just really good to have that accessible rather than inside of a house. But the rest of this house is sort of modeled. It's very small. There's only a very little bit here. I ran out of wood, but it's there. We had this little walkway. This area actually used to go to the road. And we could go up the walkway. We go up a little bit of stairs. You have this little wraparound deck thing, patio or whatever. And then you go in the front door, and then there's like a long hallway. There's rooms, like there's a room here. There's a room on the other side. There's like 4 or 5 bedrooms. You go straight down the hallway. Let's see, it probably would go to about here-ish. And then you walk over, you go into the living room, which is a pretty big size room. And then through the living room, you go into the kitchen, and then, which is also a pretty big size. And then you go left, and there's like a hallway that goes down to the second bathroom and some other stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty big building when we're done. But on this side of the building, there wasn't anything there. There was actually another house over here. Our neighbors were like probably starting about right here is where our neighbors were. So it was pretty close buildings. But since we don't have that problem, I can use this as our patio crafting stationery of awesome, I don't know, whatever. I can't do that. Anyway, that's the idea. I just need a lot of wood. So now it comes down to finding the wood. What I'd like to get done, at least get done with today, is getting the whole layout of the building. That's my goal. Is not necessarily the walls. We do have a lot of this brick stuff in there, and I don't know if we're going to use that for the walls, but we're going to lay the building out and all the pathways and the rooms and everything. I'm going to do that with the stone, and we can change it out later if we want to. But it's just this brick block here that we found inside this place. There's a lot more of it in there, so we don't have to worry about collecting that. I think wood. There's a lot of concrete in there as well. I think wood is going to be our biggest problem. But I'm going to go over here and see if, just in case we do have a mass load of wood over here somewhere, I'd really, really, really like to get to that. But I don't know. I'm thinking we might have to start chopping some trees, which means I need to develop a tree chopper thingamajig. Probably a simple one for now. Nothing major, nothing crazy. Somebody's chasing me. Hello. Nothing crazy, just because it takes a long time to develop those really, really good vehicles, and it would probably take me 2 or 3 days of straight development in order to get something that I really, really liked and that was very good at what it does. But right now I just need to be able to chop the tree, chop all the pieces down, and collect the wood, and then we should be okay. I could spend a little while doing that. It should be okay. Hopefully. We'll see. But in the meantime, I don't know if this guy has respawned yet. I don't know. I think it takes a while for these guys to respawn, but it might be okay. Might be okay. Sometimes there's this guy over here. There's a guy over there. There's 2 guys in there. There's one right here by the entrance. I think we're okay, though, in this case. There's another guy over here. But, anyway. So, yeah, I'm going to go into the building. We're going to see what we can get. Hopefully find something decent. I don't know. I probably should have emptied my inventory, but we got enough room, I think. So, I've gotten a lot of the layout. It's not too proportioned. It's not properly portioned, or whatever you want to say. This is a smaller version of the house that I lived in. But basically, this right here is a hallway. This is a bedroom. This is a bedroom. This is like the master bedroom, so it's a little bigger. And then this is just a hallway that kind of dead ends. There is a bathroom right here, actually, that I need to put in, but I forgot about it. And then you take a right into the living room, which as you can see, this is just a schematic because this room is the same size as this one or pretty close to it. So it needs to be altered a little bit, but it is what it is. You walk through here into the kitchen and then you go further into the pantry. The pantry was pretty big, but not quite that big. Then you go over here and here's a little laundry room. This hallway should be a little thinner, but it's a hallway. And then it goes over into a very tiny, tiny, tiny room, very small room, which is really weird. I don't even know why they made it so small. They called it a bedroom, but it really wasn't. And then you go over here, and this should be a doorway here, but the hallway dead ends into a bathroom, the second bathroom. So this is kind of the layout. But as you can see, I still don't have a whole lot of wood. Wood is very, very hard to get. Out of that entire place, there was a few patches of wood that I got. I got a lot of glass as well. I found a whole lot of glass in there, which is really cool. We're going to be using that, but it's not nearly enough. We're going to be chopping down huge amounts of trees unless this works. This is the idea I want to go with. I want to see if I can paint concrete to look. It won't. I don't know. I don't think this is really going to work how I want it to. Actually, you know what? Let's put this somewhere where it is good, just in case it's actually good. Because I would have ended up taking that down. I would have wasted some paint. So let's do, I don't know, I guess we could start with the kitchen, because the kitchen could be used, that's a wrong block. The kitchen could use a different block. So if this doesn't look good with wood, then we can kind of just say, okay, well, you know, it's a thing. We got to do it with wood, but we can do the kitchen something else. Anyway, so if we paint this, how do you okay, I did a thing. Did that just waste a paint? It did. Look, it wasted a paint. I don't know. How do you set the color? I don't know how to do this. Does H tell me? Does it say anything about like painting or anything in here? I'm doubting it does. This is just telling you all the basic stuff, how to connect stuff, right? Yeah. It doesn't tell me. I'm gonna have to look this up or something. It should have. Oh, you know what? There's a tooltip on here, right? Press Q to open the color selector. Simply hold down the left mouse button and drag if you want to paint larger surfaces. Check. And see, every time you click and let go of the button, it uses a paint ammo. You can paint a big area as you want, up to, I'm assuming there is some kind of a limit, but if you just paint one block, it still takes an ammo. If you paint a huge amount of blocks, and it still takes an ammo, I believe. So, I don't know, that's a thing, I guess. I didn't want that to be that color. Of course it's getting nighttime. Why wouldn't it be getting nighttime? Okay, so here's our colors. If we can get like a brown color. If we painted this to be brown, you know. I mean, I guess it's not, you can't even see it. It's got to be daytime. Now, obviously it doesn't look like wood, but I want it to look decent, you know. I want it to look a little bit like a floor, like a wooden floor. Because that's the kind of floor that I want. That's kind of the floor we had, really, almost all over the house. Except for in the kitchen. I think there was actually some kind of tile or something, which I think there's some tile in there we could use, for sure. That's not going to be too big of a problem, but I wanted to get the whole floor done, and then we can start changing things out and kind of editing stuff a little bit to give it more detail. But for now, I got to wait till daytime so I can see how this actually looks. Maybe I can get some lights over here or something. Yeah, the light didn't really help things too much. I don't know if I like that. I mean, it's not terrible. It's still brown, right? It's brown. Wood is brown. It's all good and well. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's okay. I could try the darker brown, but I don't know. It might be all right. I mean, we might have to deal with it just because I can't really get as much wood as I want to get. It would take so long to get all that wood because some of the walls are going to be wood too. And if I remove all the wood from the floors and just use the concrete and imitate the wood, even though it looks like stone when you get really close, maybe, I don't know, maybe it'd be okay. I guess it doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to go through and get a whole bunch of concrete and paint it. And we'll kind of see what we've got from there, I suppose. It's the best thing I'm really going to be able to do. I'll need a lot of paint, but there are a lot of flowers. I think we'll be okay. So here is the updated design. I made it a lot bigger. And the funny thing is, when I made it bigger, it came over in contact with this bush, which a lot of people would look at and be like, oh man, that stinks. It just got all the way in the way of the design. But at my old house, there was one of these right over the banner that sometimes stuck over onto the little porch thing we had, which is kind of interesting and very kind of weird, actually. But the wraparound porch went all the way around, and there was actually a door here. I don't know. I guess we'll do 4 wide doors. I don't know how big they should be. I usually don't like to do even numbers because it makes it hard to design things around, but I think that'll be okay. I don't actually know. We could do them 5 wide, but I feel like that's too much. I feel like that's too big. So let's just do 4 for now, and we'll see if we want to change it later. We can slightly alter the design, but of course, right at the front door, this guy also, that's wrong. I don't know. We'll do a 4 there, even though it doesn't match up with this. We can make this 4 as well. It really doesn't matter too much. But I'm kind of picky sometimes. Anyway, so we have a door here, and then there's actually a door all the way in the back as well, which I think is roughly, there's a little bit of a gap there, so I think it's right around here-ish. And there's another stairway down over here. And those are kind of the exits of the house. This is also a very old house, but it is what it is. Now, we also had hallways. I think I mentioned the hallway we had before. I don't know how far they go, but I can always take these blocks back down. I just know it's a pretty long hallway. And there's actually a separation in it, sort of. Yeah, this hallway is actually not big enough. This needs to be bigger. Hold on. It's a very small hallway. It's also not centered. Right, I have to move the stairs over too. That's unfortunate. That's going to be difficult to do, I think. But it is what it is, I suppose. Yeah, I'll move the stairs later. For now, we'll just make the wall even ish. I don't know. We're just going to eyeball it, I guess. I could count the individual things here, but that you're not right. I could count these stones to see how many across they are. It looks like it's an odd number anyway. Yeah, it's an odd number. Oh well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 25 and a half. So 24. We're just going to ignore the 25th. Or the half, rather. But anyway, so 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this guy's the 12th. So if we do 12 from this side, 12 from this side, there's our door, basically. That's where the door should be, which means the hallway should be coming down in here. And it's not big enough. I did that first time. It actually needs to be a little wider. We'll try here, maybe? I wonder if this will be big enough. That's not right. Do the thing I want you to do. Is that wide enough? That's a pretty wide hallway. Our hallway was really, really wide, but I think that might do it. That might do it. Based on the scale I'm trying to work with, that might do it. And then it should come probably a little further. That might be okay. Maybe a little further. I'm not sure. I do know we need a door here. We need a door in the same place opposite of the hall. And down over here, there's going to be a door. I'll just put that there just because. Too far. I don't know why I put that many. Anyway, actually, is it directly? I think it is actually directly across from the hall. There. This is a room. That's a room. 2 separate rooms. There'll be a wall separating them. There's a wall here separating this room and the living room, which the living room went back a few. I want to say somewhere around here-ish. Why am I in the way? Okay. And then there's also a closet right here from the living room side. And This over here was actually the closet for the room. It wasn't that big. Was it that big? Can't remember. Closet wasn't over here. What was over here? I can't remember what was over here. Something's over here. I think this is actually more stuff for the living room. This is all living room stuff. There's like a in-the-wall curio cabinet and like a fireplace and some other stuff. But I think it's all built into the wall. Everything else is probably just dead space. But that's about the right size for the room, I suppose. That's not too bad. And this one over here was about there, and it had a little bit of a space. It's technically, it should be in the same place, really. Ooh, that's not at all what I wanted, but okay. We'll go like this, I guess. It should be there, which actually means the door shouldn't be here. The room should be further over, somewhere like this. Yeah, and that gives it a little indent over here in this particular room. These were closets, 2 separate closets, actually. They were joined by a very thin wall, but basically that's about right. This one had closets actually in the same place. I'm not exactly measuring things. I'll go back and kind of make it unified or standard or whatever as far as the width of the closets and everything. I think that's a little off. 3 and 4, yeah. And then you walk over here. Well, here's the bedroom. Bedroom went a little further down. And then over some. I'm out of those bricks. I have more. I just, But you kind of get the idea. I want to finish laying this out, basically. And we're getting there. We're almost done. There's not a whole lot left to lay out. Because you have the living room right here. You have the bedroom there. This bedroom goes up further. Not a whole lot further, but a little further. This is there. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's getting there. Definitely getting there. Welcome to my home. My old home. I don't live here anymore. I moved from this house probably almost 6 months ago. Coming close to 6 months ago. But, yeah. So you walk in the front door, right? The sidewalk needs to be moved. Basically, you walk up the sidewalk, walk up the stairs, come in through the front door, and you over here to the left is actually the room I stayed in. The proportions are not exactly perfect. This actually should probably be a little wider in this direction. And over there, I think the kitchen and the living room are actually too wide there. I could probably slide all of this over and it would be a lot better. I don't know if I want to do that or not because it's not that big of a deal. We're not really going to have that much in here. We're going to decorate it, but it's not going to be that useful because a lot of the machinery that we have in this game are pretty big. So we're just going to have it outside the house in the yard. But I don't know. I haven't decided if I want to go that perfect with it or not. But overall, it's really not that far off. Here's the room here. This was the room I stayed in. And I live with my best friend, his wife, and their kids. And it's a whole lot cheaper to live with other people. Basically, that's why. But this was the room that I was staying in. This was the room the son stayed in. My friend and his wife had this room here. This is the living room. This is the kitchen, which the portions are definitely a little off in this general area too. It's not terrible though. This was a pantry. This was that tiny little itty bitty room that didn't even deserve to be a room. And then over here was the bathroom down the hallway. This is a laundry room and this is a bathroom. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty accurate though. It's not too bad. All these little closed off spaces right here. These are closets. These are closets for their room over here. So they have little doors along the way. And this is a closet-like thing. The water heater was actually in there. This is like the fireplace, and this was in the wall curio cabinet. So it's kind of weird. They don't really have doors. Kind of have doors. I don't know, but it's not too bad. It's not too far off. I spent a lot of time in this particular house. It's kind of weird seeing it laid out like this. I could totally see every bit of this house in this build. Like That's how close it is. I can imagine myself walking down the halls of that house doing just by doing this. It's really close. So I don't know. It is what it is, but it's pretty cool. I think it's a neat little concept. What we really got to do now is build up the walls. We got to decorate. Of course, I need railings on our porch. We got to put in the doors, which I want them to be functional. I want to be able to hit a button and walk in, and I actually want to hang that button on the door itself. Oh, that's the wrong way. Hold on, let's do this. I want to actually put the button like right here, almost make it look like a doorknob. So it's not going to be exactly perfect, but I'll hit the button or the lever really, and it'll open the door. And that's what I'm looking for. That's what I would like to see happen for all of the doors, really. I still need to put the staircase out here. That felt so surreal. That was... I felt like I just ran through the walls of my own house. My old house. I was just... Woo. That's cool. Oh, okay. If any of you have ever recreated your house or any place you know really, really well in a game like this, I don't know. It's a weird feeling. It's really weird. Anyway, but I still need to put the stairs on here. I would like to do some kind of kitchen appliances because this over here in this general vicinity is where the stove and the oven and everything, cabinets, countertops. There was a table in the middle. We had the microwave along that back wall. We had spare chairs, a spare table for when we had through parties or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little weird. I gotta work on this though. Yeah. Anyway, so there's that kind of stuff. I want to see what kind of supplies we have available to us in this place. Because there is so many different things in here that we could really piece together some pretty cool furniture, I think. I don't know how close we can come in imitating like a stove or an oven or a fridge or anything like that. I really don't know. But I want to give it a shot and see what we can come up with. I think it'd be a lot of fun to try that. Anyway, so that is about all the time I have for this episode, though. If you liked it, please do hit that like button and subscribe to see more. And thank you so much for watching. Do what you do, and I will see you next time. Peace out, peeps.